Hello friends, in this video we're going to look at solutions I've found to trapping and killing flies. We've got some old-fashioned methods here and some newer methods. Here's the old-fashioned fly strip. These have been around for ages, decades, 100 years, I don't know how long. We've got the sticker version, which is kind of the same thing except with clear on a sheet. Here's another one. We'll talk about that in a moment. This is one I found on YouTube, which is basically a small 1 liter bottle cut in half upside down with some bait in the bottom. And here is a commercial outdoor fly trap that I bought at Home Depot. I'm using all of these things in my garage, the garage window. We've had a lot of flies kind of inundate our house, and we kind of took the solution of trying to trap them in the garage before they get in the house, and then also being vigorous with closing the door. I still ended up with a lot in the house. I don't know why that is, but they may have come in through some other way. So let's talk about each of these things individually. First, this one here, there's some schmutz in the bottom, but I don't think I caught a single fly with this. And in retrospect, the bait there is just sugar water, and I don't think that's probably good enough because they're not attracted to, it doesn't produce an odor particularly. Now, Abraham Lincoln famously said you can attract more flies with honey than vinegar, which is kind of a metaphor for how to influence people. But honey, or at least sugar water, doesn't really seem to attract flies very well either. Maybe some sort of, fruit flavoring or something would help, who knows. Now, the old-fashioned fly strip, and even the ones on the windows, don't have any odor at all, and they work quite well if the fly lands on them. Very few flies ever escape these things. But the problem is that there's nothing to really attract the fly. So the fly has to kind of hit it by random. Except that I've got this one placed next to a window. And my experience has been that flies are attracted to light in a dark area like this garage, and they're also attracted to the stuff in here. Now this comes as it's like $4, not that expensive. It's got some sort of powder in the bottom. You pour water in and it makes a really awful smell that literally smells like a dead animal. I don't know if they grind up and process dead animals to create this stuff, or they just found some sort of dead animal chemical, but that's the net result. And there's a reason this is outdoors, which is that it just smells bad. Within the context of a garage, we've been able to tolerate the odor, but that's why they really sell it as an outdoor thing, is maybe you wouldn't notice the odor at all outdoors. Now this has a trap mechanism. This is kind of similar to the bottle method. The idea is that once they get inside there, they just kind of can't get out, and they sort of drown in the bottom. So I think that's okay as far as it goes. What I really found out is that this is good as far as the odor attracting of flies. That does seem to work, but not too many flies actually end up getting in here. Now, they've kind of ended up at the bottom, I'm not sure, but just having looked at this over the time I've been using it, I think I've only got 3 or 4 flies inside there at best. So this method isn't particularly useful, nor is the bottle method. Maybe if I pour this stuff into the bottle, that might work better. I could try that maybe next year. But you can see what's been highly successful is these clear fly strip things. These you can also get at hardware stores like Home Depot or wherever you like. They're very inexpensive. You get like $2 for a 4-pack or something. They have a little tiny adhesive strip on one side, and then this front part here is all fully adhesive. So basically the back side of this has one little strip that you attach to the window, and then the front side is what gets the flies. Now what really attracts the flies here and what makes this such a success is that the light in the window is bringing the flies. And I've noticed that, you know, even without all this, you'll see a lot of flies buzzing around. Hope we got 2 squirrels and a ground squirrel fighting it out outside. So basically what's going on here is we're using the light as an attractant. And it turns out that these tend to work better on the lower windows. The flies tend to start towards the bottom and work their way up. I put these in the middle of the lower set of windows. And another thing you'll notice here, this is a little hard to see and a little gruesome, but this was actually covered with flies at one point, and what I found is that they tend to dry out and eventually kind of break off their legs and then end up with fly bodies down here. So another tip seems to be the spiders who do this kind of thing for a living, wherever they're spinning webs, that might be a good place to put a fly sticker strip. So I really put this long strip here as more of an experiment. You can see that that's worked quite well, but using the light as an attractant, but it didn't work nearly as well as the thing that was literally attached to the window, because they tend to crawl up the window and then get stuck. So what's going on here, this is kind of a probability thing with these long strips, which is in another area you can hang up 4 of these and basically catch 4 times as many flies, because of the fact that your probability of the fly wandering onto the strip goes up by a factor of 4. Now what you might be able to do, which I haven't tried, is to paint some of this awful stuff onto the strip. Maybe that would work. I think there's some possibilities there, carrying this to extremes. But if you really want a simple way to deal with flies that works quite well, basically buy these little clear stickum strips, place them on an outdoor window and close to the bottom, or maybe at the bottom. And then they're pretty easy to deal with too. I haven't done it here because I'm making a video, but you know, you just pull the thing off and throw it away. Pretty easy to deal with. So that's really where it's at, as in my opinion, as far as dealing with flies. Is it's inexpensive, it's easy to use, it works well, and you know, it's just got it all. So I hope you benefited from this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and bye bye.